Hi, Lillian. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here today. As you know, we're opening up enrollment for the association soon, so we'd like to talk to past associates who have transitioned successfully, such as yourself, to learn about your experience. So thank you for being here. So let's just start real simply. What's your name and the industry position you transitioned into?
So my name's Lilian Josephson. I am a senior scientist at L'Oreal USA in the skincare team.
Great. And okay, so you've transitioned into this great role. At L'Oreal, you're obviously successful now. You transitioned successfully. But if we could rewind to before you transitioned, before you even joined the association, what were some of the challenges you were facing in terms of your job search?
I think it was just a really long process. I actually joined the association half a year before I really started the job search. And even then, I had half a year of preparation. It still took me half a year of looking for a job while writing my thesis, of course.
Sure.
So it was just a long process. There were lots of waiting, lots of rejection, lots of unknowns. And I think the association really helped with those challenges in how to be hopeful, how to wait for it, how to follow up on such situations.
Yeah, so you mentioned you got into the association early while you were finishing your thesis. When you joined the association, you really started to dig into the materials. What were some of the aha moments that you had in terms of the materials?
That networking, it's a relationship. It's all in the follow up. The aha moment was like, oh, so I treat them like a friend. Never go meet a friend and then never call them back or never, have another coffee or outing with them and then, still think you guys are friends, right? And so it's really the same thing with networking, by a professional relationship, but it's still a relationship that it takes time to develop like a friendship. So that was one of the very big light bulb moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so learning to follow up, building those relationships. So a lot of the strategic networking, referral driving strategies helped you. So that's in terms of the materials. But what about the private group? Did you find a lot of value in the private group? What did the private group mean for you?
The private group meant the supporting community to me. Actually, part of the relationship I built was in the community. I talked to a lot of the older associates who had successfully transitioned. I learned a lot of valuable advice from them, and they referred me to somebody else. Actually, my first personal care industry connections was from Selah, who introduced me to someone in the industry, and then he introduced me to somebody else. So that's part of my community, part of the network. And in terms of during the job search process, they were extremely supportive and helpful in terms of the feedback. When I have questions, I just throw it on there, and I get replies from many, many people pretty much within 24 hours. So that was extremely valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's great that you had that experience, and I know you've still been active in there. My last question is, we always like to ask, okay, as PhDs, we like to think ahead and really, critically evaluate things. And so when you were evaluating whether or not to join the association, what were some of the reservations you had, and then how were these reservations resolved once you joined?
I think mostly it was the cost. Yeah. I was still a grad student when I joined, so I don't even remember how much it was anymore. But it was like, well, would it be worth it? How would I get, return of investment out of that? But once I joined, the people were so helpful. You were extremely helpful. The consultants were always there, and that really jump-started my networking. And to me, since I joined early, I felt like it was like a year investment. So that few $100 was just like, oh, it was split into like 12 months. So it wasn't. It was well worth it, and I would do it again, even at a higher price. Now looking back, so
Yeah, it's easy to say that once you get into the great job, right? And you
right now
transition
I
to.
have money to do.
Well, congratulations again. Thank you very much for taking the time to share your experiences, Lily, and we wish you the best in your career success.
Yeah, thanks, Isaiah.